informative and contains my opinion and understanding of the subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
How about I have to add myself to the stage? I'm like, hi, friends. And I wasn't Jim now. Oh, wait, where's my camera? Ooh, that was up real close. Thor and Allie are going a little bit crazy because they hear somebody in the driveway. So, oh, the volume's all the way up on your headphones. I'm so sorry, Cuffy. That's the last thing you need is my loud-ass voice on the highest level on your headphones. So I do apologize. So let's see who's here, you guys. We have Cuff You. Hello, Cuff You. We have, this is Sarah. Sarah, did you change your name? And if so, why? Did you do something that, like, you're hiding from the police or something? Hi, Mark. Let's see what her answer is. Who else is here? Make yourself known if you're here, you guys. Make sure. Hi, Mitch. I'm so glad you got to be here. I got burnt. You're right. I did. Right before I start, I almost said the name of the university tomorrow, but I start one of my universities tomorrow. I'm loud. Well, that's a first. Usually I'm not that loud. It doesn't work. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay, you guys. So because of Pat Brown. What did she tell you, not to have like your first and last name? Because if so, whoops. Whoops. So you guys, we're going to try something here. So I have been working for the past like 45 minutes to get text free to work. And I think I did. Pat Brown, you guys, is a criminologist. She's like a profiler. Oh, you got into an argument. I feel like you guys have been butting heads a little bit lately, Sarah. What's that about? Does she know that you're naughty? She doesn't like that. I don't know. Let's see. Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you guys. We have 15 people here already and we just started. So welcome in, everyone. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like. Hi, Truth. She sucks. Who sucks? Pat Brown? Why do you say she sucks? You guys, I didn't remember who Pat Brown was. And then when I saw her opening for her YouTube, I realized that if you're old like me, or like not old, but like in your 40s or older, I know we're not old, but if you're from my generation, then you guys will remember her. So if you watch her intro, take notice of when they do like the times where they go back and they're like showing her on TV shows and stuff. And as soon as I seen, what was it? Was it whose talk show? They had her on like a Ricky Lake or something type talk show. I don't think that's who it was, but it was something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally remember her. So I didn't remember her when I saw her on YouTube, but when I watched her intro, I was like, I so remember her. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, let's talk nice everybody today, okay? Oh, Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace, I have like a history with because, hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Virginia. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button like it owes you money. Donahue, maybe. Really, you guys, we've been on for 4 minutes. I can't even take it. You guys are going to make me cry. Dee Dee, wow. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I definitely filled out my paperwork for YouTube. Like I checked it twice type thing. Fingers crossed on, oh no, it's the 24th. Wait, I don't think I got it, you guys. It said that between the 21st and the 24th that they would release my money. And I don't think that they did. I mean, I could always get a computer and then just reimburse myself through it when I get it. It's just annoying that I've been trying now forever. Yeah, talk show host, Dee Dee. Does anybody know? Sarah, do you remember? I feel like you would know. That is so generous of you, Dee Dee. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and my dream of being here with you guys. You have no idea how much it means. Sarah, if Sarah remembers, she'll tell us. And we're talking, Dee Dee, we're talking about Pat Brown. She has a YouTube channel. And if you don't recognize who she is on the YouTube channel, if you watch like her intros, she does like flashbacks from different shows that she was on. And if you're 40 or over, you'll remember her from those shows. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I know who she is. So again, it's Pat Brown. I don't remember which show it was. I'm waiting to see if Sarah. Oh, Ricky. See, I was right. I said it was like Ricky Lake. Oh, Nancy Grace. You were answering me. I'm sorry. I thought we were just bringing up Nancy Grace. I love her. So Ricky and Nancy Grace, you guys. And if you can go on Nancy, you know you're doing something right. Okay, let's do this. Fingers crossed, you guys. So let me tell you first. So tonight, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a call-in show. I know that I take the risk of having a troll call, things like that. So we'll see what happens. And if I have to, I'll just hang up on the person. I don't know. That's my plan for now. I'm just hoping that nobody like says anything stupid in the 2 seconds that they are on. But I guess you live and you learn. So tonight's going to be a learning curve for us. Oh, here goes Thor. Thor, come here, Thor. Oh, and Allie, they both want to talk. Okay, you too. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh my gosh, he's so excited because my husband and my daughter are at the dog. I know, my poor dogs, they're really the worst. But Thor's like, he likes when you give him a little scratch, and I thought that I'd be able to do that, and we'll see what happens. Rue says hi. Oh my God, you guys, Truth's dog literally talks. It's the weirdest thing. It's so funny. Allie talks too sometimes, but Rue's dog like talks. Oh, here they come in. Okay, they're in. I said hi. They know I'm live, so we're good. Virginia, how are you? Oh, that's so cute. Your dog went to the window thinking you had company. That's adorable. Dee Dee, you like those earrings? Thank you. Thanks. I like earrings. Earrings are a thing. I like that. J-Lo, I wish. I'm Jamie from the block, girl, not Jenny. When you survive on the block, I like where we're from. I'm just joking. Oh, speaking of, real quick before we get into this, the funniest thing happened. Not funny, but I was on my way home from the shore, and my poor daughter is like sound asleep, and jewelry at the beach. That was funny. I did that on purpose. You guys, she's talking about my other YouTube where I make fun of my Italian female family who's very like makeup everywhere, hair's like this, wears jewelry at the beach. Like, and I'm not talking about like earrings at the beach. Like I wear hoops at the beach. No big deal. I wear my rings at the beach, but like they'll wear like costume jewelry. And you're kind of like, does somebody know that they still have that on? But they do. So, but on the way home, my daughter's sleeping, and somebody from Georgia, okay, he was about 20-ish. And, you know, like when you're like merging, but then you always have that a-hole that like tries to go around you to the right and cut you off type thing. Well, I hate that. So when I see somebody in the back, and I'm talking like on the highway, not like on like a regular street, I'll straight pull my car over to the right to like, so that they can't get through. So as I'm going to the right, because I'm just miserable when people do that, he honks his horn, like slams on the horn, thinking he's going to like scare me out of the way. So instead, I like double down. I honked right back at him, get next to him. And it was so funny. One, he didn't know I was a girl because my windows are tinted. So I think he was a little taken back that I don't know. But I was a little bit aggressive. But when he rolls his window down, I rolled my window down and I was like, you're not in Georgia anymore. I was like, you do that shit in Philadelphia, you'll get yourself killed. And literally for like the next 5 minutes, I could see like from behind, he like slowed down and was like holding his steering wheel like this. And he was just, I was like, oh, I hope I didn't scare him, but maybe it is good that I did. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's see who's going to be our first person. Who's going to be our first person? Let me tell you the number. I'm so nervous to do this, but I guess you're never going to figure it out if you don't just try. So let's see. The number is 267. Here, I'll write it in here again. 267 204 5707. All right, I'm putting it in. This is the thing, the one rule I have, so we'll talk anything true crime. If you guys have any questions for me, even if you have like a question for me, I don't know, about, yeah, he was probably scared of me. But the funny thing is, if I like got out of the car, I'm 4'11", and he would have probably laughed at me. But he was a kid, so it worked. And he was from Texas, so I don't know. I think he was kind of like, what the heck's happening here? Not Texas. He was from Georgia. So he just wasn't in like his environment. Oh, we have somebody calling in. Fingers crossed. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, who am I speaking with?
You can call me Boop.
Who? Oh, you got to give me.
Boop.
Oh, it's Sarah. Hi, boobs. How are you?
Good power of deduction. Good job.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you.
If you said butts, I would have known it was
I just
true.
want you to know. I just want to tell you that one, you are chaotic crucified, but put some aloe on that girl.
I am. I like it though. Finally, I got some sun. So we'll see.
Come here for a day, and you'll have the whole summer, man. Damn.
I
It's
know.
100 damn degrees again today.
It is always hot.
Anyway, this is just a passing idea that I was thinking about earlier. I just wanted to know your thoughts about it.
Sure.
How do you feel like, of course, with hindsight, but still, even in hindsight, it's still kind of hard to fathom. Like, why did WSU do everything to walk around Bryan Kohberger?
Oh.
When it seemed like everybody had his number, knew he was creepy, knew he was weird.
So,
I mean,
Sarah,
what some of the professors said was, profound. Yeah.
well, wait, let's go a step further. Why didn't anybody notice any of those things? Or not anybody, but why wasn't it just as like, people like complaining at the sales? Like, I feel like at least here there were people complaining.
I don't know that they weren't.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if they weren't. By the way, the WSU enough.
I see. So that we might just not know about it. That's a good for you guys.
Yeah,
Hi, Claire.
schools try to keep it, I mean, that's why a lot of the things are weird. And in the case, like all the stuff we find out afterwards, not before.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, it was enough for me to know that they had been stabbed. And I had a certain, image of that. And it was absolutely nothing like what the document said. And the families were learning in real time.
No, it's horrible.
Which is crazy.
You're right. So the only thing I could think of as far as the school to answer the question is that it's like a big deal for the university. So I guess I don't know, think about it, right? So if they have this person, one, they have to worry about lawsuits. So you can't just kick somebody out of the program for no reason. And there was good reason to kick him out, in my opinion. But I'm sure there has to be like a whole. Well, I'm thinking there has to be an investigation though. So let's say 13 of us didn't like you, for example, and we were complaining just to get I think they have to rule out all of the things. But I hope.
Well, fair, but a professor you would think would have a lot of weight.
You would think, but when you get funding from the government and from the state, you usually have to go through certain steps. However, I would say on the other side of that, how many people could they have put at risk for not?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So you could look at it either way, but then at the same time, what if they did get rid of him and stuff and it wasn't him? And then now they have a lawsuit about that. So it's almost like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. However, I think that we always have to be, we always have to keep the students in mind, right? And do what's best for them. And I think that they could have at least had him, still grade papers, still get your funding for now while the investigation's going on, but maybe not coming to the camera because he was clearly creeping people out. So I don't know if they could.
Right, like he definitely needed to have, consequences because I mean he was pushing those limits, in my opinion. To
Yes.
see how far he could,
Yes.
intimidate somebody.
I agree with that 100%. That was a great question. You are.
And how creepy is that? How creepy is that thought? That I mean, he could have been. I think he was stalking multiple women at WSU. I trust their gut. If they thought it might have been him, it probably was him. Why wouldn't it have been him?
I think
that
so
makes
too.
a lot of sense that it would be him.
I think so too. I think that you have a great points here. And I do think that they're, that they do have something to, that they do have to speak for themselves here, right? Like what took them so long? Why didn't they do anything more serious?
Yeah.
And some of these seem like they were more than just like a complaint that someone was bothering me. So I feel like, should they have gotten the police involved? And if so, did they?
Because, I mean, they were sexual harassment complaints. Like, that should kind of be, I would think, even in a bureaucracy towards the top, of at least knowing about it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, I agree with you totally. That was a great call and a great
So let me get off
question.
here.
Thank you.
And give somebody else a chance, but thank you much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being my first caller. I appreciate you.
You bet.
So excited. Bye-bye. Bye,
All
Sarah.
right, girl. Bye.
All right. So let's see who else we have here that just came in. Claire came in. We have Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. We have Harlot. Oh, the whole gang's here, you guys. And Virginia. Who else do we have here? We're all here, you guys. Oh, we already have somebody else. Triple L's here. All right, let's try this. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Vona.
Hi.
It's
Who?
Virginia. Hello.
Hi, Virginia.
I'm not echoing, am I? I have the YouTube up there.
So I was going to say, put your YouTube on mute. I think you have to do.
Am I echoing? Because I'll just close that.
No, you're not echoing on my end. I don't know if.
Okay, okay, good. Yeah, I'm not on my. Leave those people alone. Sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
have Tourette's, but I'm just talking to the dog.
I'm so excited.
So my question is, and it's probably, I'm hoping I can articulate it correct, like how my brain is thinking about it.
It's okay.
Shut your face. Shut your face. Like James Craig, I don't know if you know much about, I'm just going to use him as an example. The dentist that had the successful practice.
No, but is it like Little Shop of Horrors?
Case. He has a successful practice. He's got like 6 kids. He murders his wife.
Wow.
He poisons her, of all things.
Oh, wow.
And he's, I'm like mid to late 40s, so I'm thinking, they've got, he's probably around this, like, what, is there something that snaps inside someone? Because you think about all these people that they delete their spouse or their children, but they've had these successful careers. I mean, for the love of God, he was a dentist. Clearly, he has zero common sense if you go back and look at the case. I mean, he had the poison, delivered to his office, and I'm talking, he used, the chemical that's in Visine. I think he used
Truth. Wait, real quick. Truth.
other...
Truth. Did you just hear what she said? She said the chemical in Visine. That was so weird that you said that because I was telling a story the other day about how Visine can I didn't realize if you ingest it, it's so bad. I think they fixed it since then, but
Oh, it will kill you.
I didn't.
Totally put it in your eye all you want, but do not eat it.
I didn't. I had no idea.
Kill you.
Oh.
Yeah, and so those people, I guess, if you think of people like it, and then he totally thought he was going to get away with it. They had so much evidence on it. He went to court and he just thought he was going to get away with it. I guess as a psychologist, what do people, do they just snap?
Well,
have they always been that way? Is there a precursor?
So
What makes people do this?
I would say in the situations, because he's a dentist, my initial thought is, one, is there somebody else? And oh, look, a squirrel said, that's the guy I was telling you about. And I kind of remember when I was I don't remember, but I kind of do. But elimination to start a new family.
Women who lied to these women, said he had all these millions of dollars.
Well, this is another thing. So if his wife finds out and he gets divorced, like any normal human being would, he might think like, what does he have to give her in the divorce? They could have even had a prenup where if he cheats, he has to pay out a certain amount. So it would be if I was an investigator here, I would want to know, is there money involved? So is there, life insurance? If he's telling these other women that he has millions of dollars and then she takes them for half, even, like, he no longer has anything, let alone millions of dollars. So a lot of it could be that. I would also see, what was his relationship like with his wife? Was it like a Chad Daybell thing where it seems like his wife was this amazing?
Weird. I'm not gonna lie. In her phone, she had him listed as the boy. If I'm thinking about the right case.
Really?
It was kind of bizarre, not gonna lie. But I mean, you've been married, I don't even know how long. Like, you've got 6 kids. And then it just keeps even, I feel like something in just, maybe he's always been, I don't know, but he snapped. He tried to get, the lead detective, he tried to hire someone to unalap her while he was in prison. He children.
Wait, to unalive who while he was in prison?
The detective.
What?
I swear, it just, you can't make this crap.
Oh, look at that. Look, a squirrel just said lots of money. He spent way too much. And she had $5 million life insurance policy. So by eliminating her, right, he then does have the millions of dollars that he told these other women that he had.
Yeah, and there was another guy. Who was the other guy just recently? He blamed it on Jim McIntyre, but Jim McIntyre doesn't even exist. He dismembered his wife.
Wow.
And he worked for JAG, the federal government. He was a lawyer.
So I think sometimes when it comes to professional people, because even if you look at BK, right, he wasn't a professor yet or anything, but he was on his way. He was a TA. So I think a lot of people have a hard time believing it was him because of, why would somebody get that far? What's the other lawyer, the one that killed Paul, his son? What was his name? Oh, Murdaugh, Alex Murdaugh, right? Why would he do it? He was a lawyer. Like, what are you thinking? I usually find in these cases, one, it's hard to just guess because I don't know the case too much, but it usually goes back to either other people being around or money. Money is usually the root of a lot of this. And when you said that he was telling other women that he had millions of dollars, if he had millions of dollars of a life insurance policy on his wife and he felt like as a dentist he was smarter than other people, just like, who does that sound like, right? And if he thought that he was smarter than others and that, I'll just poison her because women are more likely to poison, not men. So maybe he thought, just like with BK, right? He put that stupid thing on the front of his car. Did you really think people were going to be like, oh, that can't be his car? He's got this come on. So sometimes it's something as little as that they just think, and you have to think about it too, right? There are probably many times that they have gotten over on people, especially if you're smart and successful. People tend to give you the benefit of the doubt, and believe in what it is you're saying. So it is my opinion that there had to be something with money here. Not had to, but I would be suspicious of that. And it was an easy way to get, I don't know how old his children were. Do you know how old, were they young?
They had 6 children. Some of them were older. I want to say maybe early 20s.
I was going to say, I wonder.
I maybe late teens, early 20s to, younger. He had one of them, try to go.
Wait, you had a what? I didn't hear the last thing you said. Oh, they said no sound, you guys. I'm so sorry. Apparently, all right. So let me just tell you real quick. I put you on mute real quick because my dog was barking. So I figured that way everybody could hear you talk. But apparently, when I hit mute, I didn't know this because this is my first time doing this. I must have muted you too. So let's rewind a tiny bit and say the last few words that you said. I apologize, you guys.
No, they're like muted. Can you hear us now, Verizon?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We can hear us now.
I think he had one of his children like visit him at prison, wanted to go to the dark web to like, I think it was create emails or something. Somebody can correct me if you're not right, but do something to come up with like an alibi. Like he really thought he had it all thought out, but outside looking, you know, I'm on the outside, I'm looking in and I'm thinking, you can't be that dense.
No, you can.
But, no, right. I've watched enough true crime now that I realize you can't be that dumb.
Isn't it crazy though? But and it's usually those people that think that they're the ones getting away with it. And BK does something similar too, right? Where he like, and Murdoch too, whatever, with the alibis, like they really thought that they had good alibis. It never occurred to Alec Murdoch to look on Paul's phone to see if he took a video why they were. So it's like they really just think that, in my opinion, and again, a lot of this has to do with money. A lot of this goes back to money. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat?
The other guy that dismembered his wife, he even testified on his own behalf, and they created this whole character, this whole like individual that it doesn't even, I don't know. I guess, you know, people are like, oh, I'm crazy. Oh, I'm great. No, when I look at those people, I'm like, I might be a little neurospicy, but I am not.
I got neurospicy.
Those people, like, I just couldn't get a divorce. To me, I guess that money isn't that important. And lastly, I don't want to tap your line, but I do want to ask or recommend, if you have the time, and like I think I made this in a comment, and you're not burnt out. Danny Rawling was a serial deleter in, I don't know, I'm using these words because I don't know. I don't want you to get in trouble on YouTube. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
In the 70s in Florida.
Okay.
And, wait, is it Florida? I think it is Florida. Crap, I've watched so many and read so many things, they get jumbled up in my brain.
It's okay.
But he was one that BK researched, because I don't know if you've watched any videos where they've downloaded all of the data.
That's crazy.
Celebrate people are coming forward now giving interviews.
They're so good, aren't they? That couple.
They are amazing. And they said that he went and like literally went to a site that just had like serial killers and was just clicking on them and like downloading the information and data. And one that caught their eye was Danny Rawling, and the reason being is that BK's crime, how he did it, the college students in a dorm, I guess, you know, on campus, whatever, with a knife, were very, very similar.
I believe it was even a K-bar. I think it was even a K-bar. I think
it was the same. It was the same. And I just oh, Dee Dee, just give me 1 minute, sweetheart. I'll be right off.
Oh yeah, we'll have time. We got it.
Yeah, she's like, I really hope to get through.
You'll get through, Dee Dee.
I just was hoping that maybe we could do, you know, he has peed on the pool.
So do like the a behavior breakdown?
Yes, because I know that a lot of ties into Ted Bundy, and they say that the Celebrate people also feel that Ted Bundy probably was someone that he like really looked up to, but I can't shake the feeling like there's just so many similarities, and I think that's being overlooked. And I might just be blowing it way bigger than what it is.
No,
but I would love to hear your take on it.
You're not. So Truth says here that Kohberger would never copy Danny Rawling. He was uneducated and homeless. Kohberger would have seen him as a loser. This is the thing, though, Truth. I do agree with you on one point, but same thing with Elliot Rodger, right? So even though I don't think that BK is an incel, like in the sense of the way Elliot Rodger was, I still truly believe that he was Papa Roger. And if that's true, then all it took was for him to research him and, again, be better than him, just like he would be better than Danny at this particular thing. So Truth, I think if anything,
Yes.
he was picking, right? Because if you look at it, he was also psycho, and that's not even a real character. Or person, rather.
Right.
That is a character. It's not a
I
person.
just thought it was odd. There were so many.
I do think so.
Like,
in my
so
opinion,
many
yes.
similarities.
In my opinion, 100%. But I do think that Ted Bundy is who he aspired to be. But he was more like other people. Sarah says that he studied him. We know that from his cell phone downloads and the Bernhardt's interview on Long Crime. So he definitely did study him. So we do know that. I think if anything, right, I think a lot of this goes back to control and lack of identity. And I think that he found bits and pieces of identity that made sense to him. So I don't think that he identified with Danny as far as like Truth, like you were saying, about him, maybe looking down on those things, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't have looked at his crimes and been like, oh, I would use a K-bar. And I think that we do see that with a bunch of different people, that he like picked different things, even from movies, the whole birthing hips. Apparently Daniel figured it out or somebody figured it out, I don't know, but Daniel brought that up to me, that was even a movie line. So I do think that BK looks to movies and real life serial killers and so on and so forth, and tried to like piecemeal it all together to create himself, if that makes sense.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Now I can stop obsessing about it.
You're good. That was a fabulous question.
Something. I'm like, there's got to be a reason, but that is so much clarity.
1,000%, especially.
Thank you for your.
Oh, especially because we know that he was downloading them, and they said that like he was downloading entire case studies, not just like something that was written in one newspaper. Like he was down. So he definitely showed interest. Hi, Drunk Turkey. Drunk Turkey said, I did figure that out. See, Drunk Turkey's listening. He's like, no, bitch, I did figure that out. Give me that credit. So, and I did know, Daniel. And then I said, I don't know if it was Daniel, but it was Daniel, you guys. Daniel's our psychic medium. So he said, because he saw the movie. Daniel, what movie was it? Daniel's funny. He just pops out of nowhere and he's like, yes, I did. I did come up with that. But you're right, Daniel. You did. He's so funny. Oh, Steeler fan. Hi, Steelers fan. But thank you so much for calling.
I won't monopolize your time, but I just wanted to call. I just needed a little clarity on that, and people.
I appreciate you for calling.
I appreciate you for calling. No, thank you so much for taking my call and
this was
answering
so
my
good.
questions. I hope you have a great evening.
Oh, you too. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Oh, you guys, I love this. So, hi, Daniel. Hi, Steelers fan. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Sirius. We already have somebody else. Let's see who it is. Hello.
Hi. Oh, my gosh. Hello.
Hi. Who am I speaking with?
This is Dee Dee.
Hi. You made it through. See, there you go.
I can't fucking believe it. I'm so happy. Oh, God.
Girl, I was going to say, I am not that popular yet. You'll get through. I promise.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Hi. So what's going on? What's up? What's on your thought process about any of the cases?
What I would like is for you to, and this is a really good segue from you just crediting Daniel, is I would like to know, and again, this does require you, I feel, to step outside your comfort zone. I would like to know what you look for. As far as BK and what observations you made, which may or may not be the case, but as far as you being first to notice it, but something that you give yourself an atta girl for insights
Great
into
question.
this.
All right, well, that's a great.
I'd like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, that's something that I want to know because. Yeah, I hear you always crediting others. So something that you're proud of yourself, for noticing or realizing or, bringing to the forefront. So
that's so funny you say that because Sarah always not yells at me, but like yells at me for not giving myself enough credit. Thank you for saying that. This is what I would say.
Yes.
This is what I would say. I do think that I definitely credit myself as far as knowing BK's as far as him, I said, and again, this is the thing. The reason I don't try to credit myself with things is because I know I'm not the first person to say something. Like, in other words, it might be the only time I've heard it, but that doesn't mean that you haven't been watching other people that have said it. So that's why sometimes I'm like, cautious about that. But if I have to pick something, I would say right from the very beginning, like the minute I heard about this case, the first thing that stuck out to me was this dude has no identity. And I do think that part of that was because at the time when I was looking at this, I was doing research, like real research, my dissertation on the effects of media on the identity development of young adult learners. So like this couldn't have fit. So that was the first thing I saw was, oh, we got a lack of identity here. And I think that is because we live in a world right now where you can identify with so many different things. Like if you want, you can identify as my dog Thor. Do you know what I mean? Like like somewhere in this world, somebody would be like, okay, Thor, like, what do you do? Yeah. So I feel like though, when I was growing up, I don't know how old you are, but I'm in my 40s. And I feel like growing up. Yeah. So I feel like when we grew up, we were like born, like, I knew that I was a female, I was a Catholic, even if there were things that I didn't agree with, I was given. Right.
Yeah, so, things that you weren't even proud of, but you were still able to, they fit into a category.
Yes.
There were other
category. That's a good word.
To you, or you could relate to.
100%. And I think that in a world now where we don't have as many guardrails on those things, that for most of us, right, it's okay. So, I mean, most of the kids out there, they could be non-binary, like all of the different, anything that they identify with, and they could be secure with that, which is great, right? But for the select group of people that don't do good with that nuance, it could feel like shattering to them. So it's almost like now there's like no identity. I don't know if you remember, but I heard recently that Kohberger's mom, well, BK, sorry, I'm trying not to say his name, but BK's mom, that he grew up Catholic. And that I remember, I think it was the cops in Pennsylvania, that he said something along the lines of that something about a higher power. And he's like, I'm not convinced, but I can't explain nature other than that. So in other words, he was saying that he was challenging that. So I feel like, so I feel like what else was he challenging? Even the thing about being on drugs and then being a drug addict, and he didn't want to identify as that, or being the kid that was like the big person, he didn't want to identify as that. So I feel like he kept falling into these like brick roads of identity. And I think that left him with a hollow identity that he then filled with all of the things that he felt were interesting to him. So where like I might be drawn, even if I'm drawn to true crime, it's more because I'm trying to look into the thought process of someone so that I can figure that part out. It's not what I could do, you know what I mean? So you know what else I credit myself with? The minute we found out about that DeSales, that he did the Reddit survey, like literally the minute it came out, I went online and said, you guys, this is impossible. Because again, I was doing dissertation myself, and I, at the time, just had a 2-month backup. Like the institutional review board can back you up for months, year. I mean, it is just, for things to go like nice and smooth in research is like almost unheard of. So the fact that he had the survey, it went through an institutional review board, then got to Reddit, which I just thought was weird because I'm thinking of Rowan, Rowan University, where I went to school. There is no way. I don't care if you're God, you're not putting a Reddit survey out. Like they just wouldn't have it. So they were all like red flags to me, which then made me question. And if anybody wants to look, my very first video that I ever made on YouTube is called Do They See Me Now? And it's like I put like a 15-minute video together, and it was my ideas on BK. And I talk about his lack of identity. And I also talk about this Reddit survey and how this research, there's no way. I was like, I'm willing to bet that there's no way that, and sure enough to find out that he graduated a month later. Like, that's impossible. You could be the best person at research,
Oh my God.
and that just doesn't happen.
Right.
And again, I don't know if it's because I was going through it
sure.
at the time,
Right,
but I
just
recognize
the
that.
legal, just the like loop, just the hoops that you've got to jump through, just the bureaucracy.
Yes.
It's just that alone is just.
I agree. Wait, meanwhile, you're asking me, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I came up with one other thing, and then I'll stop giving myself credit.
Yeah, no, I want to hear. Yeah.
One other thing is that a lot of people were, and again, I'm not diagnosing anyone, whether it's him, anyone, because that's just unethical. But I do have extensive research, and I teach psychopathology. Like, this is what I teach about. So I see like similarities in things. It's just hard not to see those similarities. And everybody at first, and we didn't really know too much about BK at the time, were saying, when they first came out about he's possibly autistic or he has OCD, I literally came right out and was like, I'm not buying it. So right from the gate, I saw it as narcissistic and antisocial personality disorder with obsessive compulsive personality and schizoid personality traits. And then maybe like 3 weeks later, I was watching the interview room and Dr. Mercado was on. Well, wait, you know what? I'm going to plug myself here. Dr. Mercado, I like printed it out because I'm that much of a nerd. I look up to him so much. He literally, his exact quotes were, "You're quite good." I was like, oh my God, did anybody see that?
Oh my God.
You're quite good. I was like,
That's huge.
I was like,
that could go on your resume.
It was crazy. And then like 2 days later, John Kelly, I don't know if you guys know who John Kelly is. He's also, he's a criminal profiler, and he reached out and said the same thing. He actually said it on his show. He's like, I found this program. I'm like, oh my God, you could tell he's older because he said program. But it was amazing. So they were two of the things that like boosted my confidence to just keep going. And to be then like scooped me up from there and was like, here's a platform. And I am forever thankful to Daniel and Steelers fan for giving me that platform.
That's awesome. That's good. Yeah.
But that's all, just a few things.
That's great. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all that you do. And I mean, I'm glad to hear you accepting or, recognize those.
I appreciate it.
But also like it speaks to your integrity too. That it's not the most, I guess, natural
I appreciate
thing
that.
because I still do see a lot of like, oh my gosh, I said this first and from like that kind of thing. So if you had to be one or the other,
no, that's great.
But we see you. We know who you are.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for that question. Thank you for the question. That was a good question. You're the best.
All right. I'll be following.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye.
Oh, I love you back. Tony D, thank you so much for your super sticker. You have no idea. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting me in the channel. I am forever grateful to you folks. Who's going to be my next caller? Let's see. We got a good amount of people in here. For me, at least. You know what I mean? But let's see. And especially because I didn't post that I was going live until like 10 minutes before I went live. So I'm happy with our turnout. Tony, thank you. Dee Dee, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for supporting me. Who's going to be our next person? Let's see. Who do we got here? Mark, Look a Squirrel, Truth, Daniel, Marilyn, Chloe. Will one of you put the number back in the chat in case anybody can't find it? And let's see. So Daniel says, per the docs, Reddit didn't allow the post initially. He continued to argue it. Well, I'm not surprised. Until the end of June, well after his graduation, still arguing it was for the sales. Yeah, let me tell you something. And didn't he win? Because we saw the Reddit survey. So that clearly means that he was able to have that reinstated. So that's why, I don't know if you guys heard me when I was making a joke about I lost my first appeal. And well, there's only one appeal and then you lose monetization for a few months and then you have to reapply. But I was like, I'm going to put on my BK hat and like just not take no for an answer. And I went through the whole policy until I found something in the policy that they were like accusing me of that I wasn't doing. And now everything got reinstated. So who knows? Just that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I'm not sure. Or did I really make a good policy point? And they were like, you know what? That's not in our policy. Maybe we should add it. But as of right now, it's not. And the thing, just in case you're like, what was it? I reposted a live that I did with Daniel. And because I just reposted it and I didn't like add or subtract, if I stole his content, even though he didn't like tell me or whatever. Obviously, he gave me the video. But long story short, I was like, there's nowhere in YouTube that says that if your StreamYard sucks and everybody hears triple you, that you can't, disconnect from your platform and then afterwards just post it on your platform because you were the other co-host. So let's not be surprised if that's in the next like round of policy. I apologize, but it was my only way to like make my point. So let's see. Yes, this is Sarah says he had already graduated. Hi, Shelly. Is that how I say that, Shelly? I hope so. This is amazing. Catherine's here. Hi, Catherine. That would be hella funny if Daniel ratted you out. That would be funny. I knew he didn't, though. I think it might. I don't know. You guys, how did that go? Daniel, if you're here, if you did rat me out, would they say, like, Daniel struck you or whatever? This is the other thing. I don't know if you guys know, but well, I'm sure you do. But if you accidentally click on something like in chat, it pops up where it's like, where you can hit that this is violent material or it's not, whatever the things are. Who knows if a pro burger and, friends didn't just try to rat me out that way. So I do take that into consideration too. I do find that the people in here that do support me have been extremely loyal, and I've done the same back. And I hope that that continues, right? Of all people, I think Daniel will be the last one, but that would have been funny. Or like, what if Daniel and Steelers fan got into and I'm making this up, I'm just joking. But what if he was like getting on her nerves and she was like, oh yeah? How about this? I'm just Steelers fan. I'm literally just joking. I'm just trying to make jokes here why I lost my mind. It had to be a pro burger is the only thing I'm thinking of. Or it was literally just the algorithm. That's actually what I think it was. I think that's what I said the other night too. I think it literally was the algorithm. It saw that Daniel had the same thing. Daniel has thousands of subscribers. So, and I have like just a few. So in the algorithm, I actually think that that's not bad though, that it picked up on it, because what about other, creators that just don't have the time to check to see if their content's out there? The algorithm picked it up, but I do think that there has to be another step. So let's see what else I got here. It was crazy. I literally complained to YouTube about pro burgers using my content, and they told me I was shit out of luck. Oh, wow. But then hit me, right? Without me asking, right? It's getting a copyright strike. Thank you, Daniel. I knew that you would never turn me in. Not for nothing. You wouldn't have sent me the video. So it's not, you know what I mean? I knew that it wasn't you. I knew it wasn't you and Steelers fan. I'm literally joking. Daniel was like, she wants to keep making an eagle. All right. Dr. Vona, do you think BK's mom has any weight into hate crimes? Yes. Not that she knew or encouraged his behavior, but her parenting, anything that she said or did that pointed him on this path. So let me be honest, Mitch. Yes, I think, and again, you guys, this is all just my opinion. I don't know his mom, and I don't know all of the details, but from what I do know, and from what we found out, we know because we saw it. She did do an op-ed and about how he shouldn't get the DP and da-da-da-da. So, and this was before BK was born. But that being said, that clearly means that she has some, like, you wouldn't just take interest in something like that if you weren't like feeling it somewhere. Even if you were just so about it and you were like, it's neither here nor there, or I don't agree with it, whatever. I feel like you have to be passionate to get an op-ed out with your opinion. So I feel, and then we got the pictures. I don't know if all of you have seen this, but if not, look it up if you can. But Mount Rainier, the one that is tied to Ted Bundy, they have a mural of it in their basement. And there's a gnome next to it too. And I don't know if anybody remembers in the beginning, speaking of the dark web that we were saying in the beginning, 4chan said there was like a rhyme, and he says in the one, I don't know if these were the same though, but the one says something about it, like gives coordinates or something, or says something about a gnome. And the other one says that you'll find them in shithole, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, oh my God, both things were there. So back to the answer to your question, I think that there's a strong possibility that this was one of the things that he and his mom had in common and that they bonded over. So where my kids can come down and they could tell me about their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, you know, and we can talk, or who said this at school and what they should say. So there's many things that we bond over and that we talk about with each other. We're, you know, but here, I mean, mother, father, and again, I'm not anybody that says mother, father. I don't know the context in which, you know, you say it, but in this case, it just sounded awkward. Do you guys remember when they read the one text and it said, "Father, why is it mother?" And I play that with everyone, you guys. It's literally my best and worst quality. So it's my best quality in that I always try to think, and I'm known for the good news is it's not about you. The bad news is it's not about you. So with that being said, it makes it easy for me to play devil's advocate because I'm always like, yeah, like that person definitely didn't come out today and think, how could they piss you off by cutting you off on the road? Like the guy from Georgia, I'm sure before he left the house, he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to, you know, cut this lady off on the I-95 later and she's going to yell at me. I'm sure that that's not what happened. Nonetheless, it was annoying. So in that sense, I am able to play devil's advocate, but then sometimes I do understand that my husband or my kid, they just want me to be like, yeah, that a-hole, like go get him. So I get that too. So I think it could be good and bad. But yes, I do think the parents played a huge role, especially mom. I think the dad also plays a role, more so in that I always say that, and this is going to be a little controversial, hopefully, and we have a lot of people in here, so we'll see what happens with this. But from what I've learned over the years and just my own experience, the most influential person in your life is your same-sex parent. So even in the absence of your same-sex parent, it is my opinion that they're still the most influential person in your life. So let's say you're watching this and you're like, Vona, that makes no sense. I've never even seen my dad. I would say that, okay, as you get older, you'll make choices based off of that. So maybe you become dad of the year because your dad sucked, right? Or maybe you find yourself repeating history and not realizing it. And it's because that's just how, you know, you either were taught or weren't taught. So this could, you know, it could go both ways. But if you guys think about it, your same-sex parent plays a huge role in your development. There's going to be a female in here right now that's like, no, my dad wasn't. That's fine. But when it comes to even, you know, your body and menstrual cycles and stuff, like it's just your same-sex parent, whether you're male or female, knows you even as far as your sex meaning gender in this case. Okay. So, and somebody else might ask, okay, but what if you identify? So what if you identify as a different sex or a different gender? I would say this, that you identify with the person that you identify with. And I do tell people all the time, your sexuality and your gender identity are two totally different things. Your gender identity is who you go to bed, sexuality is who you go to bed with. So hopefully that answered your question. So let's see, what else do we have here? Hey, pretty lady, stop by from Drunk Turkey. Oh, thank Casey. Someone's calling you guys. Hello. Oh, did it hang up? If that was you and you just called, I don't know why it hung up upon me hitting accept, but call back if that was you. Or anybody call. Maybe Mark, Sarah, or Truth can put the number in the chat again, just in case. So let's see, what else do we have here while I'm waiting? I don't believe Xana fought as hard as everyone thinks she did. I think he sat himself down in that white chair. Oh, wait, let me answer this. Hello.
I think he sat.
Oh, they hung up. You guys, if you call in, you have to mute your YouTube or we'll get feedback. So if you call in, just either mute it or like exit out for until we're off, and then you could put it right back on. But that could be the issue. I feel bad. Somebody's trying to call in. If you don't get through in the next minute or so, I'll see if I could try and call back. But I don't want to call back only because I don't know if it like reveals your phone number. Oh, wait, here it comes. It keeps hanging up on you and it's the same number. I don't know why that's happening. Someone said, I don't know how to do this. I'm calling our regular phone. They just sent me to voice message. So let's see, they're trying again. For some reason, when I go to click, it's hanging up on you. I don't know why. Let me see if I could call back. Let's see. Let me just see if I'm just going to try and call back. We'll see what happens. Oh, I have a voicemail. Oh, let's see what my voicemail is, you guys. You guys, you could leave a voicemail if you want to, apparently. All right, let's try and call you back. I'm going to call from my cell phone just so that it doesn't put anybody's number on the thing. Because we all know one time I accidentally put someone's number on there. But Truth, real quick, you said that he sat down in the white chair and then tormented her with the blade. So this is the thing. I know that we hear whimpering and stuff. There's some things that I just don't know that we'll ever really know the answer to. That's just my opinion, because even if he did tell us, I don't know that we would really know, right? All right, I'm calling you back, whoever that was, and then I'll transfer you to my computer. Maybe that'll work better. It's not ringing, so I don't know what's happening. It says that I have excellent service with it, so I don't know why that didn't call right back. But I did try to call you back, the 850 number. I'm going to try and call back. There was another number. So there's also, it says like unknown number. I don't know if that was why. Here, let's try this. It's a block call. Hello? Hello? Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, is this?
You just called me. Are you serious? It's
What,
Dr.
is this a show?
Yes, it's the show. Goof, who's this?
Hi, this is Daniel, first time caller.
Hi, Daniel. Well, guess what? This is the first time we're doing this. So hopefully you're not like, going to yell at me. So let's see what happens. Go ahead.
Do you know which Daniel this is?
Is this like DT Daniel?
This is DT Daniel.
Shut
I'm
up.
so confused right now.
I was so confused, Daniel. I didn't know who it was because I'm so afraid that somebody's just going to be like, you or something. I don't know. But I guess I just figured it out by I can answer it on my cell phone first and then transfer it to the computer. That way I can at least not that I really knew any different when you said hello, that it was like a normal person, but we'll see what happens. Thank you so much. You guys, this is Daniel from the DT show. Thank you so much for calling in, Daniel.
No problem, no problem. I have a question. I can't be on long, but I have a question for you.
Sure.
So there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of controversy going on recently on whether Bryan Kohberger said, Kaylee, I'm here for you. Given he didn't name anybody ever, even on his phone, the girls that he ran with didn't have a name.
The girls that he ran with.
How possible do you think it is that Bryan Kohberger actually said those words?
I don't think he said those words. In my opinion, I think that was a mix-up, and it's the only time that it's ever stated in the whole thing. So I feel like there's more times where it's stated without that. However, Daniel, I have something to say back about that exact same line. So I was watching another creator, and she put up the Vampire Diaries. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but it was actually quite interesting. And I don't know, so I wasn't able to look it up much, but maybe, I don't know, you might get interested in this. But apparently in the Vampire Diary show that they watched that night, she put it on, so I heard it with my own ears. The guy says, it's okay, I'm here to help you. So as somebody that teaches about memory and dream and stuff like that, dreams, when I used to have nightmares years ago, I realized that it's because I was watching crime right before I went to bed. So, like, of course, I'm going to dream about someone robbing me, for example. But it took me a while to like put the two together. What are the
How do
chances?
we know which Vampire Diaries that she was watching?
Because on
That was Bethany that was watching Vampire Diaries.
with Dylan, and apparently they were watching season 8, and they were at the end of the season. And if you look, apparently Dylan says, or Bethany rather says, that when she went downstairs, she watched the very last episode on the iPad. So we know that Dylan probably watched the second to the last episode. So I do have to do more investigation into this. But if that's true, what does that mean? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if Dylan actually watched it, then I think that maybe that does kind of play maybe perhaps a little bit of a role. This would have been way at the end of the interaction, you know, when she was probably most awake versus something that would have happened at the beginning. Like if maybe that was as she woke up, that was the first thing she heard.
That's a
I
good
think
point.
it'd probably be most likely what that was. But given the fact that this was at the end, she was already frightened. Murphy was already barking. She was already calling out for Kaylee at this time, looking out the door multiple times at this point. I don't know.
I agree
find
with
it
that.
interesting. And it does actually say it in two places.
It does?
It doesn't say that he says Kaylee, but another officer says that on another place that outside of him being there for her. And so it's paraphrased, and it doesn't say I'm here to help. It says that they were there for her, or that he was there for her.
For
Outside of that
Kaylee?
statement. And it was in the first few pages of the documents. In fact, when I read that, I had created my title and the thumbnail for the show, and I put fixing the narrative because I assumed that Brian Ensign and Ashley Banfield got it wrong, and they took those words from that first few pages where it said that she believed that she believed. So in the first few pages, there's a statement that says that she believes that the offender told Kaylee that they were there for them. And then like 70 pages later, it's actually quoted in quotations from Dylan saying, Kaylee, I'm here for you. And so those are the two. It's on two documents, but only one document that actually says her name. The other document refers to him being there for her, and it doesn't refer to who he's saying that to. It doesn't have a name. It just kind of starts it off at that point.
Are these
these
two separate cops, real quick? Was it two separate like cops that said this?
I believe so.
Because that would
I
matter
could be
too.
wrong. I don't remember the exact names. I know one of them was right off the bat. I want to say within the first 20 documents, and then the second one was like document 79 or something
I'll have
like
to look that up.
Out of those, I think it was like 300 and something documents. I want to say it was out of those. Maybe it was the ISP documents.
I'll find
but
it.
either way, I think it was like 50 pages in between them.
So what do you think? Now that you said that, I didn't know it was there twice. I thought it was just there in the very beginning. So I too assumed that they got it wrong on Banfield and Brian Etten. But if it's in there twice, I mean, isn't that the same amount of times that it's not in there?
Well, here's the thing. We only know, like we haven't actually read what her statement is. We've only read paraphrased statements of what she said. Like, we actually have zero idea of what she said in those, like, as far as like verbatim, word for word throughout the entire interview. We do know that she had stated what had happened like 2 to 3 times on the body cam. And even at that moment, the officer had mentioned to her, we're going to be asking you these questions over and over again, which you probably shouldn't have said that, to be honest with you, because if she was a suspect, you don't want her to be like, okay, I got to remember all my details. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
But he obviously could see in the moment how freaked out they were and that these young girls had nothing to do with the crime. But you probably still, until you 100% can, rule them out, you probably shouldn't say those things. But he did. And, so they were asked quite a few times. And memory is tricky. It may be a detail that took her a little bit to remember. You know what I'm saying? It may
Mhm.
not have been a memory that came back right away, which it may also be unreliable. I mean, I've always said witness testimony is not the most reliable stuff that's out there.
Well, just
And
scientifically, it's not either. So if you look at the science behind it, because I teach this too, it is actually more unreliable than it is reliable, believe it or not.
yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I mean, if you look at what she thinks she saw, you know, she thinks she sees a cylinder object with a possible triangular object at the bottom, a triangular base
Hmm.
with a vacuum attachment sticking out of it.
And he was a firefighter,
You know,
supposedly. Like, she thought he
Right,
could be
well-
a firefighter.
well, she only said that because of what Bethany said.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you're right. So, like, you're only going to think of things that are already in your own thought process. So, in her thought process wasn't that, you know, somebody came in to slaughter 4 of her friends. So, I think her brain was picking other things that she thought it could be, because I don't think she thought it was a knife. Do you know what I mean? At the time, or whatever it
I'll ask you
was.
this. I'll ask you this, though. So you thought that maybe perhaps that she confused what she saw in Vampire Diaries.
I don't know.
If it's true that Vampire Diaries said that and she watched that and she did hear somebody say something, let's just say that those two are true. What's more likely, that Bryan Kohberger said the exact same thing on Vampire Diaries, or Kaylee, I'm here to help you?
I can't believe you just said that. So we always talk about how he picks and chooses things, but my thing is, how would he know that they watch Vampire Diaries unless, like, he could see through the windows and stuff? Who knows? Maybe not that, but who
No, I
knows?
don't think he. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
so
think
you
he
don't
did
think
that.
like he's using that? Okay, I was going to say, because that wouldn't be like, you know, that wouldn't be out of the realm. But I do think, because you were just
So that's
saying,
what I mean. What is the likelihood
oh, that
he's
it
going to
is.
say the exact same thing that they watch? It's probably slim to none. And if he did say something, you know, it's more than likely the thing that she recalled afterwards versus the first thing that popped into her head after watching a show like that and those words were said. So that's my point. It's probably very small percentage-wise that Bryan Kohberger went in there and said the exact same thing. He wasn't there. That happened at 2-something in the morning. His phone was still in Washington while all that was occurring. And so he wasn't out looking, watching that they were Vampire Diaries to have reflected that. And plus, it wasn't, I don't know if it was Kaylee and Maddie who was also watching that. So it wouldn't make sense for him to say that.
Is
If he
true.
knew that, he would have probably said that to the girls that were watching. So to me, what you're saying actually probably makes it more likely that if Bryan Kohberger said anything at all, which I believe Dylan heard somebody say something. If he heard him say something, that it's most likely, I'm here for you. I don't know about the name part, but the I'm here for you is probably most likely versus the exact same thing that she heard earlier on a show. I think that the likelihood of being the same is just super low.
I can't wait to look it up to like make sure. But I mean, this creator had like the vampire, like I was driving home to see, but it sounded like she had the show one and the part, and they say it multiple times, not just once. So like they say it like 3 or 4 times in that one episode that it's okay, I'm here to help you. And I also didn't realize that Vampire Diaries, that it's mostly about like stabbings and stuff. So they said that it wasn't that violent. And again, I have to reread things because I didn't read that on my own, but I would think that that's violent. But I guess what I'm saying here is, you were saying that they say, you know, I'm here for you. Like there were different renditions of what she said. So it could be, I do think she heard something, because she says that she heard a male talking and that it wasn't Ethan's voice. So I do believe that. But what did he say? Like you said, did he say, I'm here for you? I'm going to help? Like, what did he say? And if they are able to, you know, say that they were watching this episode and they say it a few times there, not that she would do it on purpose, but we know that the brain sometimes will misremember. And could those exact words been misremembered? And if so, what does that really mean, though? You know what I mean?
That means that if she was quoted by law enforcement as saying, Kaylee, I'm here for you, and that was said obviously after the fact because we didn't see that in the body cam footage, not saying it's 100% accurate, but it's probably more accurate than what she initially said, given the fact that it matches what she heard that night. To me, it just means that you're probably on the right path where, you know, what she thought she heard is the same thing as that. And that makes sense. But I believe that she heard something.
I do too.
And if at some point it did change from what she may have confused, what she heard earlier, to Kaylee, I'm here for you, or I'm here for you, without saying the name, I would probably if I was investigating this, I would tend to believe that second statement if I knew about this Vampire Diary thing. You know, I don't think the cops went in there and went to the effect of watching Vampire Diaries to see what was being said in those shows to determine whether or not Dylan's memory was influenced by what she was watching. You know, I highly doubt they did that.
No, but that goes back to what we were saying before. Shouldn't they have done more than like some of the things, or like gotten some of the statements like figured out? I don't know. I feel like the ball.
I don't think watching Vampire Diaries
would have helped. No, I hear you.
List at that point, to be honest with you, I don't think they were going to try to do.
But I do think, Daniel, I do think one of the cops asked Bethany, were you watching anything? So that would be my only thing. Like, why did he even ask that? Like, what were you watching when you went to bed? But I have to read the diary. I mean, I have to read, I said the diary. I have to read the documents again, just to be sure before I put that really out there.
Yeah. And what you were watching, what you were doing is to establish a timeline for consistencies. You know, if she says, oh, I was watching Vampire Diaries and it was like on regular TV or something. Oh, what time was it? What episode was it? You can go and cross-reference that. And then when you get their phone data, you can cross-reference that with what they were, you know, where's the position of the phone during the time that this movie was going on? Were they on the couch or were they somewhere else making calls, planning things, doing things that aren't consistent with what their story is?
100%.
So that's one of the main reasons you asked that, not necessarily to see if there's an influence based on what they were watching.
Okay, so just me thinking, I'm thinking more like a therapist where you're thinking like an investigator, which that makes total sense.
Yeah, without, yes.
Yes, that makes sense. That's usually how it works, you guys. I pick up on the psych stuff and he picks up on the cop stuff.
There you go. But yeah, that's why the cops would have asked that. That's why I would have asked it.
But
I would have definitely been asking.
Would you be
what we were watching?
Would you be interested?
And try to ask it multiple times in multiple ways.
Well, would you be interested in the Vampire Diary thing if it was a thing? Like, would that change your mind on what she thinks she heard?
I think if that's in there, I think it's more likely that she heard somebody say, "I'm here for you," versus "It's okay, I'm going to help you."
Me too. I'm going to do some research and then I'll definitely let you know. I'll find it.
Well, I've actually watched the series.
You
my
have?
daughter loves it, my oldest daughter. So I've watched it. It's like a teen drama stuff, like, you know, Teen Save the World type of thing. And it was like on, I don't even know what channel, CW, I think is what it was. So it's like on television. So it's not that graphic or violent or anything. It does have times where they have to, you know, stab the vampire in the heart. But those are actually like far and few in between when those things actually happen. It's more like a freaking love story. Think of like a watered down Twilight without the dazzleness.
Okay. That works. Well, if you know what you're looking for, you should look at season 8, the final 2 episodes, to see if you find it.
All right, I'll check it out. Like, I don't know what. Yeah, I'll see. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's available somewhere. I think it was Netflix or Hulu. It's probably Netflix. But you'll have to let me know.
All right, I'll check it out. Season 8. How do they know it's season 8 again?
I'm not sure. I think I have to go back because I don't want to misquote it. But I believe she was reading from like the documents. But again, I was driving. So anybody listening to this, I don't want to put this out there as fact. But where did that just come from? So I am going to look into it, and then either Daniel or I or both will let you know what we find. But I do think it's something to look into, and I think that it plays into, like you were saying, memory and eyewitness, you know, audio or visual. as reliable as we think it is, because people have to remember that we only conjure up what we already know. So if you're not thinking like that, then you might never think that that's what's happening. It's kind of like in marriage therapy, you guys. When someone in marriage therapy is accusing the other one of cheating, it always makes my red flag go up and be like, okay, are they cheating? Like, because it's like projection. So I am curious to see if this was projection. And if so, you're probably right. She probably said, or it probably was something more along the lines of, I'm here for you, which is scary.
Well, I mean, everybody asked what the motive is of the target was. You're saying it, I'm here for you. For someone.
Yeah. And they could have met in true crime even. How weird would that be? They could have even met like in the true crime realm, because she was into true crime and he's going to school for criminal justice. And we know that he watched YouTube. I mean, how weird would that be? But like they said, they didn't find any connections, but that also could be because he was deleting so much of his stuff.
Me personally, I think this guy had his eye on a bunch of different women that he knew. I think he knew that he couldn't do anything to the women that he probably wanted to, or the ones that he was close to, because it would come back to him. And so what he did was probably look for women that looked very similar to them. And, I think he had certain ideas. He wanted to commit this crime before he even moved out there. And that's why he bought the K-bar knife before he even moved. So he had these feelings and these thoughts. I mean, he was trying to get the emotions or understand the emotions of criminals after he graduated from DeSales, using the guise of DeSales to talk to criminals. So this was for his personal wants. And so he's been wanting to do this for a while. I've always said, I think the guy probably went out to the pool party, saw a lot of women who were in skintier clothing, bathing suits, got overstimulated and decided to drive around that night and find a party that's got the biggest party with females who are young and attractive that would create a high-profile crime. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of gathering, maybe not in their house, but somewhere nearby. And as he drove by, he got glimpses, and that's my opinion. Probably, I said this like years ago. That was my first theory I ever put out there. This guy found the perfect house, and then he liked what he saw as far as the women that were residing there. Yeah, he saw this house as an opportunity. It was an area that you can't really drive through.
Yes.
So like if you're in law enforcement, you have to be real specific for a reason to go into that area.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an area that you would see patrolmen often go into, just to go into without a call in there. When officers are patrolling, they'll hit the areas where they can get in and out of, especially if they have a call or things of that nature. Going into a one-way area where it's one way in, one way out. You go in there every now and then. But if you can kind of just see from the main drive as you're passing by, like on Taylor Avenue, that's probably all they used to do. So that's probably one of the reasons he chose the area, because it was a one-way in, one-way out. He had a lot of parties there, so you had a lot of people coming in and out. A lot of ways to hide your DNA, a lot of ways to hide your tracks.
Absolutely.
And you had people, because of that they were going in and out, that it was easily accessible.
It was. So, and he probably...
I've always thought that was him.
Do you think it was him, the one, like when they said they would come home and like the one time the dryer or the washer was on, like I would have never went back to that house again. If we were all away and I came home and my washer was on, I'd be like, what the heck? So like in those situations, if that was him, maybe he realized that like they didn't call the cops for those things. There was like a few weird things that happened. So maybe that they would be, you know what I mean? Like that they weren't going to call the cops for every little thing. Like we don't know, but that could have been like him like testing the waters to see what he should be aware of. I would have ran home.
I think that's highly likely.
Mm-hmm.
that he's probably multifaceted. See what they would do. He was probably getting off on their fear as well.
1,000%.
Sign of escalation. It was he was getting off on that, breaking into these people's houses until it wasn't enough, and then he moves on to the next thing. I think it was multifaceted, probably to see what the response was, but also probably got off on getting in there and them not knowing that he was in there. If he went in there like that, and turn things on. I don't think that was his first time in that house. And
No.
I think they said there was like 3 occasions. One where they came out of town and the front door was open. Another time when the back sliding glass door was open, and obviously somebody went in there because Murphy was also out. And so somebody would have had to have gone into the back sliding glass door and opened the door upstairs for Kaylee's door for Murphy to get out. And so they had to go find him for that situation. Now, the one time when they came home and the front door was open and there was a snowstorm, I'm not sure if that's the same time that they had the, I don't think it is, because the third time, I believe, was when they had a weekend trip and they came home, the front door was open, and when they got home, the washer was on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that wasn't due to the snowstorm. And they kind of got scared about it, but they were like kind of concerned. So look at what he did with Nayoung Ko. He put her cake in the microwave and put our cosmetics on the toilet.
That's what made me think that this could be him.
He wanted them to know somebody was there, not just wonder if somebody was there.
Yes. Yes. No, for sure. Because who would have put the washer on, or who would have put that cake in the microwave? That's not where she was putting it, if anything, in the trash, because she said it was like, she made it wrong. But
Right.
I agree with you 100%. And when you were talking, I kept saying her name in my head, because I was like, don't forget to say that. But I see an overlap there. And this probably, and we know just his friend Jeremy Saba or whatever, that he stole the mom's iPad, and then the dad, that one dad that says that he stole like the coin collection. And so it wouldn't be his first rodeo.
No, not at all. It seems like he was somewhat of a professional burglar in a certain extent.
And that's what he was studying.
He stole tens of thousands of dollars worth of coin collection and knives from that guy.
That's crazy.
And he stole drugs from Saba's house and prescription drugs from Bayless's house. And he stole his sister's cell phone.
Yes.
Which is the one thing that he was actually called in for. But these are just the things that we know about, and the things that he got caught with, and the things that people have been able to come forward. I'm sure there are a lot of people. I mean, the people that he had their IDs, they didn't even know how or why or when he got their IDs.
That's crazy, right? They're like watching the news now, and they're like, wait, that's where my ID went? Like, could you imagine?
And you have to wonder, where did he take it from? Like, did he take it while they were working together? Did he take it while they were at school together? Or did he go into their house when they were asleep or not there and take it then?
No, that would be so scary. But you're right. It's like a power.
No, I probably think it's the latter.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, right? I think like the more we find out about him, the more we see that these things aren't things that he wouldn't do. He's done them, a lot of them in the past, and we do see escalation here. So I don't know. I don't think it's like far off from thinking that he's the one that turned the washer on or left the doors open. And that obviously, I don't know. They never called the police for those things. They probably just thought that it was a sorority sister or brother playing a joke, or, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm thinking like, why wouldn't you call the police for that? But what are you going to do? Call the police and say my washer was on? You know what I mean? Like, so like maybe they just thought like,
made entry into my house.
But maybe they would have thought like, oh, these kids are drinking or something. Like, I don't know that they would have even been taken serious. That's
I mean, we saw the images of their home. There was alcohol and things there everywhere.
Yes.
Do they really want law enforcement to come in and search their property? Probably not.
No, especially because the 2 21-year-olds would have been responsible for the younger ones at that point. So you're absolutely right about that. That alone can stop somebody from calling. Just like I think that played a role in why Dylan didn't call. I think she was afraid to get them in trouble.
That's quite possible. I mean, she thought that Xana was just drunk on the floor.
Yeah. And I think she was afraid to call.
Underage.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those things are possible. Well, Dr. Vona, I got to jump off.
Thank you for calling.
Great being the first-time caller. I should probably do this again another time.
Yeah, this is amazing. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
Of course. I'll be on the live. Hello to everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces in the live chat. It's good to see everyone. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, you guys, this is working out so nice. I love this. Thank you so much for calling in. So Chloe says, question, would call in if my baby wasn't with me. There's a report in a doc about someone, I believe, from WSU discussing the crime with BK after the fact. They said that BK said something. Let's get to the next part. About this possibility being a one-time thing for the perp, not a serial offender. Do you think it's a possibility that given BK's sterile academic behavior that this might have been true? This is a great question, Chloe. So this is what I think about that. I think that even in theory, oh, hold on, you guys. So even in theory, I think that if that was the case, that I think that even if he didn't think that he would, or even if he wanted to make somebody else believe that, I think that if you look at like just history, and the best predictor of future behavior is past relevant behavior. So even in the moment, if he like even thought that for a second, I don't think that that's how it would have played out. I think there would have been more offenses. I also think that it wouldn't be unrealistic to think that he wanted this to be a one-time thing so that he could then be the teacher and they could use this case in the classroom to try to figure it out. And now he can really tell people that they're dumb or like, no, stupid, why would you do that? Like he would be the one that knows the information. So that would be important there as well. But I do think, Chloe, that he would have definitely reoffended 100%. What do you guys think? Oh, we have somebody calling in. I don't know so this is what I'm going to do. Whoever just called in, call back. I'm going to answer it this time from my cell phone like I did with Daniel, and then just connect it to because I don't know if that was making a difference. Like if I'm clicking on something wrong when you guys call in, even though it worked the other times. But whoever that was, if you call back, I will open it on my cell phone and then just connect it to the computer. This is amazing, you guys. I did not know if anybody was even going to call in. And we're like an hour and a half into this. Sarah says psychopaths or psychopaths. I agree with that. Truth has the number here. Oh, look, here we go. Oh, we have a new voicemail. Let's see. Oh, wait, let me try and call you back.
Five, 0, 6.
Wait, I didn't want your number to come up. So I tried to call you back, 850, whoever you are. 850, my hero. I tried to call you back. 541, if you didn't get through and you want to call back, please do. 773, these are the area codes. You were another one that I didn't get to come through. I will say block numbers, I don't know about answering. Hold on, someone started to call and then it hung up. So I don't know what that's about. We could try and call back. I could do callbacks. I have no problem with that. Let's see what happens. You're already on a call. Hang up. I'm on a call with who? It said I was already. Oh, it says I'm on a call with 850. Hello, 850. Do you hear us? I don't know if that was just on 850's voicemail. So 850, if you get that on your voicemail, sorry. But it's just, I think I just left you a minute voicemail. But that could be why the other one didn't go through. So who's going to be our next caller and what are we going to call about? In the same time, Chloe says, sorry, have been ruminating about this. If true, who knows, could he have done this to experience it in relation to his studies? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I do think that if it was him, Chloe, that or whatever, or even if that was his idea, that we wouldn't have seen that play out. Hello, caller.
Hi,
Who am I speaking with?
this is Dog's Gang.
Who is it?
Dog's Gang. I'm usually on Daniel's show.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for calling. What are you thinking
Do I
about?
have a bad connection? Maybe it's just mine.
No, I could hear you.
Oh, okay.
I could hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I was going to say a couple of things that I was thinking about.
Please do.
One is, let's see, when it's mentioned that Kaylee, Kaylee or Maddie that had DNA under her fingernails. DNA can be transferred from glasses, from shaking somebody's hand. She was drinking at the bar that night. She also handled food at that food truck.
Yeah.
And all of that was transferring DNA to her skin, to her fingers,
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing, when it comes to
so real
trying
quick,
to remember,
before you go further. So for
yeah.
that part about the fingernails, you're making a statement that could have been related to other things. Is that what I'm hearing? I agree with you.
Oh, well, when they found other DNA under his fingernail, these Kohberger talking about, it could have been somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But what about the knife sheath? That
and
would that would be less likely, I would think, right? Like the knife sheath, I
What's
would
that?
think, like the knife sheath, as far as that DNA, that would be more likely to be the person's DNA, right? Because that wouldn't be like getting it out of the
Right.
bar. Okay, I was just curious. I do the brain stuff. Dad?
Yeah. I was referring to when they were looking, they did a swab underneath her nails, and they were, the Kohbergers are like, she's around one that was actually attacking her. But that could have been that was transferred when she was getting drinks at the bar, when she was getting food at the food truck. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%. 1,000%.
Okay, so years ago, I witnessed a murder at an RV.
Oh, wow.
They actually, it was a gang, and they shot him, and he fell down there inside the RV. And the gang was still outside. We yelled at the people to lock the doors, the people that were there working at RV. We all had to run to the back, so we had to run by that body. But I didn't want to really look at it, so I just really glanced. So I wouldn't, walk into the body, because we had to run to the back right by him. So we waited till the police got there. Then we had to run back out, walk back out and talk to the police as witnesses.
Oh.
So I barely even glanced at the person. So anyways, later we had to talk to the detective, and my memory was I thought he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. But my niece actually saw him, and he was wearing something else. But he realized she ended up being the star witness that got him locked up. But my point is, when you are, really in a situation where you are on high adrenaline and scared for your life, you're going to remember things differently. So that's the point when I think about Dylan. She was even drinking. I wasn't drinking. I was, sober.
Right.
And my memory was faulty. So imagine in her situation, she was tired and she had been drinking. So,
That's so true.
And she still has a better memory on a lot of recall than I have, because, even though she was traumatized and all that. So I give her a lot of credit for all of that. And it just really upsets me when people give her and Stephanie such a hard time. Then another thing I noticed when we've been watching the body cam recently, when I was listening to her talk to the police, she said, she mentioned the firecracker thing. And then she goes, well, I wasn't the one that heard it. She was talking about Bethany. And then Bethany, she's back there in the background. She's like, no. And she goes, oh, okay, never mind. So she dismissed it. So when the police officer wrote that down, that was something that shouldn't have been written down, because she said, oh, never mind. And she wasn't even the one that witnessed it. So these people that are attacking her and saying, oh, she's lying, she was just saying what she thought Bethany said.
Yeah, doesn't that make you nuts? That makes me nuts, right? I said, doesn't that make you nuts? Like when people are like picking on every little word?
Yeah. So that's why I'm making points about, accounting, just what these people say.
Thank
And
you.
another thing,
Wait, real quick, before you
so-
go further, I want to thank you for sharing that horrendous story that you went through. Like, I'm so sorry you ever went through that. And I also thank you because you validated pretty much what Daniel and I were just talking about eyewitness testimony. And the thing that I usually show in my class is almost exactly the scenario that you said. And it's literally, they did it on purpose, and everybody's an actor, but like the 10 people, and they have like actors within the 10 people that witnessed this accident. And what they noticed was, even depending on how the investigator asks a question, that could even play a role in how someone answers. And one of the examples they gave was when the investigator said, so they split the people up. When the one investigator said to the people, how fast do you think the car was going when they bumped the other car? And then others said, how fast do you think the car was going when he smashed into the other car? And just based on the word bumped or smashed, people were saying the difference between like 15 miles an hour and 40 miles an hour, which is just crazy. So I think even an investigator has to be careful in how they ask the question. Right?
Right.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I jumped on late, so I didn't hear that conversation. I
No,
was
you're
a little
good.
bit late.
No, I'm so glad that you're saying this though, because you're validating that whole point. That's exactly what we were saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that bothers me is the Kohberger saying, talking about saying other people are lying, witnesses are lying. Well, okay, what about DK? He tells the detectives, oh, I only heard, he says, I only heard about the eyewitness posting from a text message alert. And I think he said one other thing that maybe saw on the news or somebody mentioned it. Yet, we see all that stuff that he downloaded and all of the people that he watched on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, it just bugs me, all the lies, you know?
There's so many.
And then also I found a quote. You were talking about on Vampire Diaries.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What was it?
Okay, let's see.
You are amazing.
I'm
You get an
here
A+.
for you.
A+ for you. That was quick.
It's the quote. I'm here for you always, no matter what else happens in my life. I'm here for you, whatever you need. Was spoken by Carolyn Ford to Bonnie Bennett in the Vampire Diaries season 8, episode 4. The title "Today Will Be Different" is the title of the show.
And did you figure out? Did they say it's okay? I'm here to help you.
Yeah, the quote is, I'm here for you always, no matter what else happens in my life. I'm here for you, whatever you need.
Wow, I'm here for you always.
That was it. Yeah.
Do you know?
I'm here for you.
Do you know in the second to the last episode, I'm wondering, like, I don't know how you found this out so quickly. Like, I don't know if you could like look up, because I think in the thing, I think the thing was, is that it was either the last episode or the second to the last episode in season 8, where they say, it's okay, I'm here to help you. But even the fact that you just said, it's okay, I'm here for you. That.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm glad that you said that, because that's like, that adds a whole nother layer to this, right? Because then both things could have been heard. I don't know. That's so confusing, isn't it? I mean, I still think she heard something, and I think she knew that it wasn't Ethan, but she kept saying, I don't know if I was dreaming. And I think at one point the investigator says something along the lines of, well, you're like, it wasn't dreaming because these things happen. So, but I mean, if she was, I don't know. I still think she heard something. I just don't know the exact wording. And that would be just so weird if it was wording from that particular show that they were watching the night before.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I'm almost guarantee you she did, because once you have that fear factor, because I know she mentioned that she stopped drinking. She was trying to sleep, and so it probably was starting to wear off. And like, your adrenaline is pumping when you're fearful, and then you're even more sober, you know?
Yeah, you're so right.
I really do think she heard it, because if I do drinking stuff, I could still hit people. So, it doesn't mean that she's not recalling. you know?
100%. And she
So-
was drinking earlier in the night too. So like you were saying, she probably was sobering up.
Yeah.
But I also think that because she never experienced such a horrific thing, and hopefully she never will again, most of us will never experience anything close. So, but I do think that, like you were saying, with the adrenaline and all, I do think that that can affect things, right? So even like you said, you thought you saw a Hawaiian shirt. It doesn't mean that you didn't see this horrific thing. No, you absolutely did see it. But you just happen to be focused in on something different than your niece was. Is that what you said? It was your niece that was
Right.
But okay, I have a quick question about that. What was it that made you think that, wait, maybe it wasn't a Hawaiian shirt and maybe it was what my niece said? Like, was it like, did the investigator say like, oh, well, what she's saying is the right thing? Or like, how did you, or like,
No.
did hers make you question yourself? Like, wait a minute, I saw a Hawaiian shirt. Like,
No. What happened is we didn't talk about the color of the shirt. I didn't find out till later because we were
Oh.
all just comforting each other because it was also my daughter-in-law was there. I was actually shielding them the whole time when we were in the back because I was afraid they were going to come inside and shoot us. Even though the doors were locked, they were picking up this huge like metal, one of those big trash cans, and they were banging it against the door trying to get in.
Oh
the
my
Bible game.
God.
Yeah. So we were pretty fearful, and so when we were interviewed by the detectives, we were all separately interviewed, and I didn't find out till later that the color shirt he was wearing, like the member of the gang, that his team, the kid's gang was wearing blue, and the other one was red. So I just barely glanced. I barely glanced. I saw the lead by his head. I noticed he was very tall, big guy. Found out he was only 17. That was really sad.
Wow.
But it was crazy.
What a horrific experience. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's really brave of you.
Yeah, I don't want to take up all the time.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't want to take up all the time.
I appreciate you. You can call
Somebody
back
was
whenever
asking
you
my
want to.
name. Oh, thanks. Somebody's asking my name. I'm just going by my YouTube.
Yeah,
name,
go by your
which is
YouTube
Dog
name.
King. Do it DODZ and then Dog King. And I've got a picture of my two dogs.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear from you again. So
Yeah.
make sure you call back again eventually.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to
really
do these
appreciate
more
it.
often.
Oh, I want to tell you also, you're absolutely beautiful. And so I just
What?
wanted to say that.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Queen. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. That I appreciate
Okay,
that
all
so
right.
much.
It was a really great call
Thank you.
to you. And I'm really proud of you with your channel and everything. You've come a long way.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure I'll talk to you again, and I'll be chatting now in your.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Have a great night.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
You too. Okay, bye-bye.
I'll see you. You guys, this is like the best thing ever. I don't know why I haven't. Well, yes, I do know why I haven't done this sooner, because we couldn't figure out how to use it. And I accidentally, on a members only live, gave out one of our members' phone numbers by accident, thinking it was the text-free number. So maybe it's a good thing we tried it a few times first. But I am so, and I want to thank Truth. I want to thank you, because before this, literally for like 45 minutes, I tortured her life and was like, okay, can you call again now? And then I was like, all right, try again. All right, try. And I literally did it for like an hour, and she called back every time I asked her to. And I appreciate that. I want to make sure real quick that I thank Sarah. Sarah says, I just wondered if you knew what I did for a living, not OnlyFans, that's her side hustle. Sarah, where do you come up with this stuff? That's a great question. So I know that you do behavior analysis. I know that you have a lot of like things. You guys, she does behavior analysis. She does handwriting analysis. You're also you have like your mortician thing, which I really admire. So I know you do a lot of things, Sarah. You're like I don't know, like a one-woman stop over there with your boobs. And then over here, and you guys, the boobs thing that's like a Sarah joke, not me. Sarah loves her bulbs. And then we have Mark says, Mark gifted one. Mine's behind true crime. I didn't even know the name of my thing real quick with Dr. Vona. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. All right, you guys. So this is the deal. It's been almost 2 hours that we've been on here, which I can't believe. It feels like we've been on here for 10 minutes. And I work at the university tomorrow, and I still have 2 core shells, which I'm glad. The last time I talked to you was yesterday, and I still had 10 core shells to finish. I'm down to 2, so I only have 2 left. But I was up till 8 o'clock this morning, and I don't want to be up till 8 o'clock tomorrow, because then I'm just going to be like, while I'm teaching. So with that being said, I'm going to end this live, and I want to go over to the interview room and give them some views too. So if any of you happen to go over there, you might see me in chat. Who knows? I don't even know who's on tonight, if there's anyone on, but they're usually on at 8 or 9 o'clock. So I know people want to go over there too, and I don't want people to feel like they have to stay here either. So I don't want to take up too much of your night. I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much you guys appreciate it. One thing I will tell you is that when you don't, grow up with entitlement and stuff like that, you do appreciate this stuff. Like even down to saying that I'm 47, like what? But I'll take it. Mama, yeah, thank you. But you guys make me feel so good, and I appreciate that. And I hope that I make you feel good too back. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for coming. And I will catch you, who knows. The only thing about my channel that I feel bad about is that because I have so many jobs and stuff, is that I don't always know when I'm going to have an hour and a half, 2 hours to jump on. So make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I am going to try to start posting it in my community post, but I don't know if people get them. So just make sure you turn on your bell so that you get the notification. And just check in every now and then. And we're going to do this more often. I love this. This was great. Thank you all for making this such a successful first call-in show. This will be happening more often, and I will keep the number the same. So if you called in or you wrote the number down, keep it, store it in your phone so that you can call next time. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for being here. I said thank you for coming and thank you for being here. That's the same thing. Have a beautiful night. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this so that I can continue to bring you content. Thank you so much.